keys are on the counter, right where you used to leave them. The dust is settling on the stories I still believe in. I walk past your jacket, still hanging by the door. It's holding on to a shape that doesn't live here anymore. The sunlight hits the floorboards in a way that feels like glass. I'm overanalyzing every shadow as they pass. I'm a ghost in my own kitchen, making coffee just for one, staring at the finish line before we'd even begun. The air is getting heavy, the silence is a weight. I'm screaming at the ceiling, but I'm 20 minutes late. And it's the echo of an empty hall, the sound of my own heart hitting the wall. I keep listening for your footsteps, but the floor won't even creak. I've got a mountain of I love yous that I'll never get to speak. It's the loudest kind of quiet, the hardest way to fall, living in the echo of an empty hall. I haven't changed the sheets yet, I'm scared to lose the scent of a version of forever that I didn't know was spent. The television's buzzing just to keep the dark away, but it can't drown out the things that I was too afraid to say. Every corner is a memory, every shadow is a sting. It's amazing how much nothingness a person's absence brings. In the echo of an empty hall, the sound of my own heart hitting the wall. I keep listening for your footsteps, but the floor won't even creak. I've got a mountain of I love yous that I'll never get to speak. It's the loudest kind of quiet, the hardest way to fall, living in the echo of an empty hall. Pacing through the blueprint of a life we never built, drowning in the what-ifs and the salt water of guilt. They say that time is healing, but the clock is standing still. If the silence doesn't kill me, the memory surely will. Still listening, still waiting for the door to swing, but it's just the wind, it's just the ghosts, it's just the echo of an empty hall, just an empty hall. The coffee's cold, the steam has long since died. I'm sitting in the chair where you used to reside. The newspaper is open to a date from last July. I'm reading all the headlines just to keep from asking why. I haven't moved your coffee mug, it's stained or rings of brown. It's the only only piece of us that hasn't left this town. The refrigerator's humming like a low and lonely choir, and I'm reaching for the dial just to lift me a little higher. But the signal's getting weaker, the tower's out of range. God, I hate how much a Sunday morning had to change. Now it's just static on the kitchen radio, the frequency of everywhere you had to go. I'm twisting the knob trying to find your song, but the white noise tells me that you've been gone too long. It's a crackle and a hiss, a hollow shifting sound of a love that's lost its signal and can't be found. Just static, static on the kitchen radio. I remember when we danced between the stove and the sink. We didn't need the music or a single thing to drink. The reception was perfect, the melody was clear. I never thought the silence was the thing I'd have to fear. Now the floorboards are cold and the windows are blurred, and the only voice I'm hearing is a ghost of a word. Yeah, it's just static on the kitchen radio, the frequency of everywhere you had to go. I'm twisting the knob trying to find your song, but the white noise tells me that you've been gone too long. It's a crackle and a hiss, a hollow shifting sound of a love that's lost its signal and can't be found. Just static, static on the kitchen radio. Maybe if I stand real still, the words will come through. Maybe there's a broadcast somewhere featuring you, but the air is just empty, the wires are all frayed. I'm listening to the sound of the choices we made. Turn it down, there's nothing left to hear, just the buzz in my head and the salt in my tear. Static, just static. The microwave beeps like a heart monitor pulse in a kitchen that's sterile and cold. I'm setting the table with a habit of grace for a story that's already told. I pulled out 2 plates, then I put one back. The ceramic felt heavy and chipped. I'm pouring the wine just to fill up the space in a script where the ending was ripped. The shadows are long and the streetlights are dim, and the clock on the wall is a thief. I'm chewing on memories that taste like regret, and a swallow that's flavored with grief. It's dinner for 1 at midnight, under the hum of a flickering light. The salt on the steak is the salt from my eyes, and the only guest here is a room full of lies. I'm talking to shadows, I'm pouring the ghost of the person who loved me the most. It's a quiet table, a bitter bite, dinner for one at midnight. I remember the nights when the steam hit the glass and we laughed till the candles burned low. We used to get lost in the heat of the meal with nowhere we wanted to go. Now the chair across from me is angled away, like it's trying to exit the room. And the silver is tarnished, the napkins are torn in this house that feels more like a tomb. Yeah, it's dinner for one at midnight, under the hum of a flickering light. The salt on the steak is the salt from my eyes, and the only guest here is a room full of lies. I'm talking to shadows, I'm pouring the ghost of the person who loved me the most. It's a quiet table, a bitter bite, dinner for one at midnight. I could throw it all out, I could leave it to rot, but it's the only routine that I've still got. If I stop the cooking, if I clear the tray, then I'm finally admitting you're really away. The candle flickered out, the wine is turned to vinegar, the leftovers are cold, and I'm still here, sitting, waiting, dinner for one. Midnight. The alarm clock is screaming at 7 a.m., but I'm already staring at the wall again. The sunlight is cool, it's too bright for the room, tracing the outlines of a love in its tomb. I'm curled on the edge on the left-hand side, where the blankets are tangled and the secrets still hide. I reached out my hand in the middle of sleep for a promise I thought we were planning to keep. But the cotton is cold and the mattress is flat, and there's no heart beating under the mat. And it's the unmade side of the bed. The heaviest weight is the wood instead. I'm sleeping in circles, I'm chasing the dent of a body that's gone and a summer that's spent. The pillows are silent, the sheets are a mess. It's the loudest reminder of no and of less. Just a hollowed out space where your head used to rest, on the unmade side of the bed. Haven't washed the linens in a week or two, because they still carry the smallest hint of you. A stray strand of hair, a faint floral trace of a girl who decided she needed more space. I'm a king in a kingdom of wrinkles but I'd trade all the silk just to see your face. Yeah, it's the unmade side of the bed. The heaviest weight is the word instead. I'm sleeping in circles, I'm chasing the dent of a body that's gone, in a summer that's spent. The pillows are silent, the sheets are a mess. It's the loudest reminder of no end of less. Just a hollowed out space where your head used to rest, on the unmade side. Tuck in the edges and bury the dreams. But if I make it perfect, then I'm letting you go. And that's a kind of final I don't want to know. Still cold, still empty, I'm staying on my side, waiting for the ghost to move. Just the unmade side of the bed. The unmade side. The shadows are shifting, they're starting to lean, like they're listening in on a life that's unseen. I've memorized every small crack in the paint, a roadmap of patience that's starting to faint. I asked the hallway if you're coming home, but the plaster is cold and I'm still alone. I'm pouring my heart to the wood and the stone, in a house that's forgotten the sound of a phone. I'm losing my mind in the quietest way, finding the words that I failed to say when you were still here, when the light was still gold. Now I'm just talking the things I can't hold, and it's just conversations with the wall, waiting for a shadow to grow tall. I'm asking the ceiling why you had to leave, but the drywall don't care and it doesn't believe. I'm screaming at the bricks till my throat starts to sting, but a room full of nothing, don't say a thing. It's a one-sided mercy, a slow motion fall, just me and my conversations with the wall. I told the front door about how we met, about the blue of your eyes and the sun when it set. The doorknob is silent, the hinges are locked, while I'm counting the hours on a heart that's been shocked. I'm explaining the why to a frame on the shelf, but I'm mostly just trying to convince myself that the echoes I hear aren't just tricks of the light in a kitchen that's haunted by goodbye tonight. Yeah, it's just conversations with the wall, waiting for a shadow to grow tall. I'm asking the ceiling why you had to leave, but the drywall don't care and it doesn't believe. I'm screaming at the bricks till my throat starts to sting, but a room full of nothing, don't say a thing. It's a one-sided mercy, is holding your name. Maybe the wallpaper's feeling my shame. I'm waiting for the house to just breathe back a word, but the only thing moving is the dust I have stirred. Are you there? I whisper to the dark, but the paint doesn't peel, and the wood doesn't spark. Just a hollow, just a hum, just another night of being numb. Conversations with the wall. The welcome mat is faded, the welcome is a lie. The porch light is flickering, preparing to die. I checked the caller ID on the landline today, but the screen is just blank and the wires are gray. The air in the kitchen doesn't taste like a tea, it just tastes like the dust in the distance from me. Every room is a stranger I'm trying to know, in a place where we promised we both finally grow. The wood doesn't creak when I step on the spot where you used to stand, whether ready or not. The windows are cloudy, they've lost their clear view. It's like even the glass has forgotten you too. And it's a house that forgot your name. The bricks and the mortar don't feel the same. The wallpaper's peeling, the color is gone, and I'm the only one here still holding on. I'm screaming you're always into the hall, but there isn't a whisper, there isn't a call. It's a heart-shaped grave in a wooden frame, in a house that forgot your name. I found a stray earring in the crack of the floor, a tiny rebellion against the no more. But the silver is tarnished and the sparkle is dead, just like the good mornings we used to have said. The garden is overgrown, choked out by weeds. Forget-me-nots dying for everything it needs. If these walls could talk, they'd have nothing to say. They've already washed all your traces away. Yeah, it's a house that forgot your name. The bricks and the mortar don't feel the same. The wallpaper's peeling, the color is gone, and I'm the only one here still holding on. I'm screaming you're always into the hall, but there isn't a whisper, there isn't a call. It's a heart-shaped grave in a wooden frame, in a house that forgot your name. I'm painting the hallways, I'm scrubbing the stains, trying to find where a memory remains. But the foundation shifted, the structure is wrong. I'm living in a place where I don't belong. How can a building just stop being ours in a matter of weeks and a couple of hours? is empty, the chimney is cold, the story is finished, the property is sold, but I'm still inside, in a house that forgot your name. Just a house forgot your name. I used to wake up to the rhythm of your chest, a steady hum that put my racing mind to rest. The covers would rustle, a sigh in your sleep, a promise of safety I thought we could keep. But the pillows are stiff and the air is too still, and I'm shivering under the weight of the chill. I'm holding my breath just to see if I can stop being a ghost of a broken down man. The clock on the nightstand is ticking too loud, like a hammer that's building a box for a cloud. I'm listening for footsteps, for keys in the lock, but I'm only met by the ghost of the shark. And it's the sound of my own breathing, the only thing left that isn't leaving. In and out like a tide in the dark, searching for fire, but finding no spark. It's a hollowed out whistle, a shaky refrain, the rhythm of logic, the cadence of pain. Loud as a thunder, the secret I'm grieving is the lonely, cold sound of my own breathing. I went to the kitchen to make us some tea, but the steam only rose for a shadow of me. I spoke your name just to hear how it felt, but the syllables started to soften and melt. Now I'm back in the corner, my knees to my chin, counting the seconds for the air to come in. It's funny how life is a thing you just do, even when every part of you died with the you. Yes, the sound of my own breathing, the only thing left that isn't be still. I don't want to inhale if you never will. I'm tired of the cycle, the lungs and the beat of a heart that's still marching in total defeat. And I'm still here. Loudest thing in the room is the air in my throat, in, out, out. The sun is pushing through the blinds like a nosy neighbor's glare. I'm still sitting in yesterday's clothes in this kitchen chair. I poured a cup at 7, now the clock is striking 10. I've picked up the spoon and I've put it down again. There's an oil slick on the surface, a dark and bitter sea, mirroring the murky way that you looked at me. I should probably get up, I should probably move, but I'm stuck in the scratch of a broken record groove. The steam is all vanished, the warmth is a ghost. I'm staring at the crumbs of some burnt black toast. The world is at work while I'm losing my mind in the wreckage of everything we left behind. And it's just cold coffee and heavy thoughts, untying the tangles and the forget-me-nots. I'm sipping on shadows, I'm swallowing pride with a landslide of maybes colliding inside. The caffeine won't kick and the heart won't restart when the lead in my head is weighing down my heart. It's a bitter morning, a slow motion ride, just cold coffee and heavy thoughts. I'm replaying the goodbye like a grainy black and white, analyzing every word you weaponized last night. Was it the way I held on or the way I let go? Is there a secret to us that I didn't get to know? The ceramic is chilled against the palm of my hand, like a souvenir from a sunken, forgotten land. I'm tracing the rim, I'm counting the stains, while the storm in my skull is calling for rain. Yeah, it's just cold coffee and heavy thoughts, untying the tangles and the forget-me-nots. I'm sipping on shadows, I'm swallowing pride with a landslide of maybes colliding inside. The caffeine won't kick and the heart won't restart when the lead in my head is weighing down my heart. It's a bitter morning, a slow motion ride, just cold coffee and heavy thoughts. I could pour it in the sink, I could brew a fresh pot, I could pretend that I'm fine when I'm clearly not. But the mug is an anchor and the room is a cell, and I'm drowning in a cup of my own private hell. Cup is empty, the head is full. Cold coffee, heavy thoughts. The street lamps humming through the window pane, like a low voltage heartbeat, a mechanical pain. I reached for the switch about an hour ago, but I pulled back my hand, I let the shadows grow. There's a comfort in the corners where I can't see the mess of the book walks you didn't take in your favorite blue dress. The moon is a witness, a silver-eyed ghost, watching me mourn what I needed the most. They say turn on a light, it'll make you feel better, but I'm wrapped in the dark like a heavy wool sweater. I don't wanna see where your side is bare. I don't wanna look at your empty chair. So I'm sitting in the dark on purpose tonight, giving up the ghost and the ghost of the light. I'm letting the blackness fill up the room like a velvet-lined box or a quiet wall tomb. If I can't see the walls, then they can't close in. I'm hiding the scars and the where have you been. It's a different kind of healing, a private kind of service, just me and the wise. Sitting in the dark on purpose. Sitting in the dark on purpose. My phone's face down like a coin in a well. I'm not checking the screen for a story to tell. The clock on the stove is the only green glow, counting the minutes since you decided to go. In the light I'm a failure, a man out of place, but the dark is a mask that covers my face. I can cry without mirrors, I can ache without sound. While the world keeps on spinning, I'm stuck on the ground. Yeah, I'm sitting in the dark on purpose tonight, giving up the ghost and the ghost of the light. I'm letting the blackness fill up the room like a velvet-lined box or a quiet wall tomb. If I can't see the walls and they can't close in, I'm hiding the scars and the where have you been. It's a different kind of healing, a private kind of service, just me and the wise. Sitting in the dark on purpose. Sitting in the dark on purpose. Let the shadows swallow the what ifs and if onlys. Let the midnight be kind to the broken and lonelies. I'm not lost in the black, no, I'm finding my way through a version of us that couldn't survive the day. Don't flip the switch, don't break the spell. I'm learning to live in this life with self. Just the shadows, just the silence, just the dark. On purpose. The sunlight is dragging across the hardwood floor, like it's looking for someone who's not here anymore. It stops at the corner, right by the bookshelf, where a velvet black shadow is sitting by itself. I used to see you there, lost in a page, with the lamplight falling like a gold-colored cage. Now the fabric is cold and the cushion is flat. I'm scared to sit down where the laughter once sat. I've moved all the tables, I've shifted the rug, I've tried to erase every ghost of a hug, but that corner is heavy, that corner is deep. It's the one part of us that the house gets to keep. And it's the loneliest chair in the room, a velvet-lined witness to a love in its tomb. I'm circling the edges, I'm avoiding the space where I still see the light on the curve cover your face. It's an island of never, a harbor of no, the loudest reminder that you had to go. It's just wood and some wire and a hollowed out gloom in the loneliest chair, the loneliest chair in the room. Put a coat over it just to hide the shape, but there's no such thing as a wooden escape. The springs give a groan when the house starts to chill, like they're waiting for weight that they'll never quite fill. I talk to the headrest, I'm losing my mind in the threads of the secrets we left all behind. It's a monument now to the middle of May, before you decided to just walk away. Yeah, it's the loneliest chair in the room, a velvet line witness to a love in its tomb. I'm circling the edges, I'm avoiding the space where I still see the light on the curve of your face. It's an island of never, a harbor of no, the loudest reminder that you had to go. It's just wood and some wire and a hollowed out gloom in the loneliest chair, the loneliest chair in the room. I should throw it away, I should burn it for heat, I should drag it right out to the middle of the street. But if I let it go, then the corner is bare, and I'd rather have ghosts than just nothingness there. Still waiting, still empty. The dust is the only thing sitting there now. Just a chair, just a room, the loneliest one. I haven't touched the top shelf in 100-something days. The sunlight hits the spines in 1,000 different ways. I see the one with the dogged page, the story of the sea, the one you used to read aloud when you were next to me. The ink is staying still, but the air is moving on, creating a thin gray veil for everything that's gone. I'm scared to wipe it off, I'm scared to break the seal, because the mess you left is all I've got that's real. The alphabet is broken, the categories are wrong. There's a space between the volumes where you always used to belong. And I'm standing on a step ladder, reaching for a ghost in the part of the library that hurts me the most. And it's just dust on your old books, the way that a memory honestly looks when it's left in the corner and it's left in the dark, losing the fire and losing the spark. I'm reading the titles, but I can't turn the page. I'm a bird in a room that's become like a cage. It's a quiet kind of silver, a slow motion gray, just the dust on your book. books since you went away. I found a receipt from a shop in the city, tucked in a chapter about something pretty, a date and a time and a total we paid before we were ghosts of the choices we made. I traced the letters with the tip of my thumb until my heart started feeling a little less numb. But then I saw the film that's beginning to grow on the happily ever afters we used to both know. Yeah, it's just dust on your old books, the way that a memory honestly looks when it's left in the corner and it's left in the dark, losing the fire and losing the spark. I'm reading the titles, but I can't turn the page. I'm a bird in a room that's become like a cage. It's a quiet kind of silver, a slow motion gray, just the dust on your books since you went away. I could box them all up, I could give them to friends, I could try to find where the narrative ends. But if I clean the shelf, if I polish the wood, then I'm saying goodbye for the final and good. And I'm not ready for the ending yet. Chapter 10, the part where you leave. I'm still on the prologue, learning to grieve. Just the dust on the shelf, just the dust. I keep the door shut, but the handle still shakes like a shuddering heart right before it breaks. I haven't been in there since the middle of June, when the air in the hallway changed its tune. There's a suitcase open on the floor rug, holding the ghost of a wintertime hug, and a stack of your letters on the nightstand drawer that I'm too damn tired to read anymore. The vent is humming a hollow sound, and the rest of the house that I'm walking around, I'm living in circles, I'm treading the floor, but I'm terrified of what's behind that door. Because there's a ghost in the guest room tonight, hiding away from the morning light. It's wearing your smile and it's using your voice, making me wonder if I had a choice. It's a silhouette sitting on the edge of the bed, repeating the things that we should've just said. It's a hollowed out space, a silent I do, just a ghost in the guest room that looks just like you. I found your old charger plugged into the wall, feeding a spark that doesn't exist at all. The curtains are heavy, the windows are sealed, protecting the wounds that have never quite healed. I used to think guest meant a temporary stay, but you're living in there in a permanent way. A tenant of sadness, a squatter of grief, who's stolen the seasons and acted a thief. Yeah, there's a ghost in the guest room tonight, hiding away It's a hollowed out space, a silent I do. Just a ghost in the guest room that looks just like you. I could pack up the boxes, I could paint over white, I could exercise every forever tonight. But if I clear out the room, if I throw out the key, then there's nobody left in this house except for me. The light under the door, is it still on? Or is it just my mind holding on? Good night, ghost. Sleep well, memory. Just a ghost in the guest room. I've mastered the way that the floorboards will groan. I've memorized every low humming tone of a house that's decided to breathe on its own. Since you left the keys and the seeds that we'd sown, I can make a whole meal without using a plate. I can talk to the shadows and stay up real late. There's a rhythm to vacuum and patterns of gray to pass all the hours that get in the way. It's a gallery walk through a hallway of no, a curated collection of where did you go. I'm becoming an expert, a scholar of grief, finding a beauty that's bitter and brief. And it's the art of being alone, turning my heart into ivory and stone. I'm painting the silence in shades of your ghost, perfecting the parts that I'm missing the most. It's a steady hand stroke on a canvas of blue, learning to live without any of you. It's a masterpiece made of a hollowed out bone, the delicate art of being alone. I've learned how to sleep in the dead center line, so I don't feel the space where your hand used to twine. I can walk through a crowd and not look for your face. I've practiced the fine and the iron in a good place, but the colors are muted, the lighting is dim. I'm a portrait of her without any him. Every morning's a sketch that I'll never complete, of a woman who's learned how to live in defeat. Yeah, it's the art of being alone, turning my heart into ivory and stone. I'm painting the silence in shades of your ghost, perfecting the parts that I'm missing the most. It's a steady hand stroke on a canvas of blue, learning to live without any of you. It's a masterpiece made of a hollowed out bone, the delicate art of being alone. They say that it's freedom, they say that I'm free, but I'm just a statue of who a survival. Table for one, under the moon. I'm getting so good at it, ending too soon. Just the brushstrokes of a life on my own. The art of being alone. Being alone. I'm tiptoeing through the kitchen. 3 in the morning, ignoring the shadows and the internal warning that every step I take on this old pine wood is a conversation I haven't understood. The house is settling into the cold and the dark, looking for a flame but finding no spark. And right by the fridge where you used to stand, the wood gives a shiver like the touch of your hand. It's a hollowed out percussion, a splintered up beat, following the ghost of your barefooted feet. I try to walk softly, I try to stay still, but the house has a memory in its own kind of will. And it's the floorboards that still groan your name, a symphony of wood that's never been the same. I'm pacing the hallway, I'm treading the dust, in a rhythm of maybe, in a cadence of must. Every creak is a comeback, every crack is a stay. The loudest reminder that you went away. It's a haunted percussion, a splintered up shame, in the floorboards that still groan your name. I remember the spot near the bedroom door where we danced to the rain, on the roof, on the floor. Now it moans when I cross it, a low wooden sigh, like it's asking the rafters the how and the why. I've tried to fix the nails, I've tried to oil the grain, but you can't lubricate the sound of this kind of pain. The foundation is shifting, the structure is wrong, and I'm living in a house that's been lonely too long. Yeah, it's the floorboards that still groan your name, a symphony of wood that's never been the same. I'm pacing the hallway, I'm treading the dust, in a rhythm of maybe, in a cadence of must. Every creak is a comeback, every crack is a stay. The loudest reminder that you went away. It's a haunted percussion, a splintered up shame, in the floorboards that still groan your name. Ooh, that still groan your name. I could carpet the rooms, I could tear up the planks, I could burn down the joists and give God the thanks, but then it'd be silent, and silence is worse than hearing your ghost in this wooden walled curse. Speak to me, even if it's just a crack in the wood. Talking, and it only knows one crack, just a sliver wide, enough for a golden ghost to slip inside. I'm paralyzed here on the edge of the rug, in the hollowed out space of a faded out hug. The world is outside, I can hear the cars go, but time in this room is starting to slow. I'm focused on a million silver specks in the air, twisting and turning as if you were there. They don't have a way, they don't have a plan. They drift through the light just because they can. And I'm jealous of things that are smaller than breath, floating in circles in a room full of death. And I'm just watching the dust motes dance in a sunbeam of never and a no second chance. They're golden and lonely, they're silent and free, moving in patterns that look like you and me. I'm holding my breath so I don't blow them away, 'cause they're the only things moving in my house today. It's a beautiful funeral, a microscopic trance, just watching the dust motes, watching them dance. Watching them dance. I remember when we used to stir up the air, running through hallways without any care. Now the atmosphere's settled, the oxygen's thick, and the silence is playing a cruel kind of trick. The particles land on your empty glass, waiting for hours and seasons to pass. They're building a layer of thin gray skin on the life that we lived before the end set in. Yeah, I'm just watching the dust motes dance in a sunbeam of never and a no second chance. They're golden and lonely, they're silent and free, moving in patterns that look like you and me. I'm holding my breath so I don't blow them away, 'cause they're the only things moving in my house today. It's a beautiful funeral, a microscopic trance, just watching the dust motes, watching them dance. If I reach out my hand, they'll scatter and hide, like every forever I carried inside. So I'll stay real still, I won't make a sound, while the debris of us keeps on spinning around. Don't move, don't breathe, just let them flow between you and me. A million tiny pieces, a million what ifs, dancing, just dancing. Just dancing. I'm sitting on the linoleum, the tiles are cold, tracing the cracks in a story that's getting old. I haven't opened the door since you took the milk and left the curtains hanging like morning silk. The kitchen used to be a symphony of us, the clinking of spoons in the morning rush. But now the air is thin and the light is blue, and I'm losing my mind in the absence of you. I've turned off the TV, I've silenced the phone. I'm trying to listen to the being alone, but the walls are vibrating, the floor starts to shake with a mechanical rhythm that I cannot break. In the fridge, it's too loud tonight, cutting shadows and the flickering light. It's a low, lonely buzz in the back of my head, drowning out the things that we should've just said. It's the sound of the empty, the sound of the frost, counting the seconds for everything lost. I'm begging for silence, but it won't let me be. The fridge hum is screaming at a shadow of me. At a shadow of me. It's a cycle of cooling, a cycle of stay, keeping the leftovers from rotting away. But the Tupperware's growing a layer of green on a dinner for two that'll never be seen. I wanna unplug it, I wanna go dark and sit in the quiet without any spark. But if I stop the motor, if I kill the sound, then I'm just a body that'll never be found. Yeah, the fridge hum is too loud tonight, cutting through the shadows and the flickering light. It's a low, lonely buzz in the back of my head, drowning out the things that we should've just said. It's the sound of the empty, the sound of the frost, counting the seconds for everything lost. I'm begging for silence, but it won't let me be. The fridge hum is screaming at a shadow of me. Stop the vibration, stop the routine, stop being a witness to where you have been. I'm screaming at the metal, I'm kicking the door, but the hum just gets louder than it was before. Buzz in the kitchen, buzz in my brain. It's the only thing keeping me sane. Too loud. Too loud. I'm walking on tiptoe through the halls of our years. The carpet is soaked with a decade of tears. I've organized every I love you by date and shelved all the sorries that arrived way too late. The ceilings are vaulted, the windows are high, but the air is just made of a long faded sigh. I'm surrounded by volumes of things we once said, but I'm reading the index of nothing instead. There's a shh in the rafters, a quiet in the hall, a sign on the door saying don't scream at the wall. I'm a scholar of maybe and a student of gone, in a building where the lights are never turned on. And I'm living in a library of silence, a beautiful hollow and peaceful violence. 1,000 stories I can't read aloud, wrapped in the dust like a silver-lined cloud. I'm checking out memories, but I thing that refuses to go. I found a stray bookmark in a chapter on June, back when our heartbeats were perfectly in tune. I wanna rip out the pages where the plot starts to twist and erase every goodbye that I try to resist. But the ink is permanent, the binding is tight, and I'm losing my vision in the flickering light. Every shelf is a year, every row is a mile of a girl who's forgotten how to even just smile. Yeah, I'm living in a library of silence, a beautiful hollow and peaceful violence, 1,000 stories I can't read aloud, wrapped in the dust like a silver-lined cloud. I'm checking out memories, but I can't pay the fine of a life that was yours and a life that was mine. It's a cathedral of never, a temple of no, where the quiet is the only thing that refuses to go. I wanna shout until the shelves start to shake. I wanna hear a sound that I didn't just make. Burn down the archives, tear up the floor, because I can't live in this quiet anymore. But the walls are too thick, and the ink is too quick to dry. Everything is overdue. The story of me, the story of you. Close the book, turn out the light. Silence. Just silence. Just silence. The hallway is narrower, and it was yesterday since you took your boxes and you went on your way. I walk through the door with the rain on my face, looking for a familiar piece of the place. But there's a gap in the wood, a wide open stair, where your yellow raincoat used to hang right there beside my old denim, like a sleeve-to-sleeve dance, back when we didn't leave a single thing to chance. Now the brass hooks are empty, the cold to the touch, like they're asking me why I'm still caring this much. I'm reaching out for a ghost of a sleeve, but there's nothing left here that's planning to leave. And it's the only coat on the rack, the heaviest weight of the never coming back. I'm hanging in circles, I'm swaying alone in a house made of timber and secrets in stone. It's a lopsided shadow on one side of shame, beside a blank space that still carries your name. The loudest reminder of the things that I like is just the only code, the only code on the rack. I try to move mine to the middle of the road, hide the goodbye that I already know. But the wall is too big and the silence is deep, and the hooks are a promise that you didn't keep. I remember the winter hair, the scarves and the wool. How the entryway felt so cluttered and full. Now I'm checking the pockets for a stray bit of lint or a scrap of a note with a stay in the print. Yeah, it's the only coat on the rack, the heaviest weight of the never coming back. I'm hanging in circles, I'm swaying alone in a house made of timber and secrets in stone. It's a lopsided shadow, a one-sided shame, beside a blank space that still carries your name. The loudest reminder of the things that I like is just the only code, the only code on the rack. I should take it down, I should throw it on the floor. I should stop looking for your keys in the door. But if I hide my own, then the hallway is bare, and I can't face the fact that there's nothing out there. So I'll leave it right here, waiting for a match. Just the rain, the only coat on the I'm standing in the hallway where the light hits the floor, but I'm not the same person who walked through that door. A month ago we were a silhouette, a singular shape. Now I'm just a fragment, looking for an escape. I look at the ground, at the dark in my feet, but the outline is jagged, the edges aren't neat. It's like the sun is confused by the ghost in my skin, wondering where I end and nothing begins. I've lost 20 pounds of the always we had, in a lifetime of good for a moment of bad. I'm a stranger to the carpet, a freak in the hall, tracing a version of me on the wall. And my shadow doesn't recognize me anymore. It's hovering, hesitant, halfway to the door. It's looking for the girl, man, they used to be whole. Before you carved a canyon right through my soul. It's a hollowed out shape, a charcoal gray lie, waiting for a version of us to walk by. I'm a body without a reflection to see, 'cause even my shadow doesn't recognize me. I try to wave hello to the man, woman in the glass, but I'm just a blur as the hours all pass. My shadow is leaning away from my frame, like it's embarrassed to carry my name. It used to be tall when you held onto my head. Now it's shrinking and fading like lines in the sand. It's scared of the quiet, it's scared of the space where your own taller shadow used to embrace. Yeah, my shadow doesn't recognize me anymore. It's hovering, hesitant, halfway to the door. It's looking for the girl, man, they used to be carved a canyon right through my soul. It's a hollowed out shape, a charcoal gray light, waiting for a version of us to walk by. I'm a body without a reflection to see, 'cause even my shadow doesn't recognize me. Am I still here if the light passes through? Am I just a window into the missing you? I'm screaming at the sun to make me feel solid again, but the dark on the floor is my only real friend, and even he's leaving. I'm disappearing, 1 inch at a time. My shadow doesn't know me. The click of the lock was a gunshot in the hall, and I'm still standing here staring at the wall. The air is still swirling where you just stood, like a ghost in the drywall, a chill in the wood. I can still hear the gravel as you back down the drive, the last mechanical sign that we were alive. Now the house is adjusting, the foundation is deep, and the secret we broke is a secret it'll keep. I'm waiting for a floorboard to suddenly creak, for a sorry, or maybe that you didn't speak. But the dust is already beginning to land on the forever we held in the palm of our hand. And it's the stillness after the door closes, the end of the wine and the death of the roses. It's a ringing in my ears, a hollowed out hum, the terrifying weight of the water we become. I'm a statue of salt in a kingdom of no, watching the oxygen settle in slow. It's the loudest disaster, and nobody knows the stillness after the door closes. After the door closes, the refrigerator kicked on and I jumped at the sound, because quiet is a mountain when you're stuck on the ground. I'm looking at the space where your shadow just leaned, like a movie that's ended, a dark-colored screen. I should probably move, I should probably breathe, but I'm paralyzed by the why did you leave? The silence is thick, I can taste it like lead, drowning out every word that we ever had said. Yeah, it's the stillness after the door closes, the end of the wine and the death of the roses. It's a ringing in my ears, a hollowed out hum, the terrifying weight of the what have we become. I'm a statue of salt in a kingdom of no, watching the oxygen settle in slow. It's the loudest disaster that nobody knows. after the door closes. I wanna rip off the hinges, I wanna break through, I wanna outrun the vacuum of not having you. But the atmosphere's heavy, the pressure is high, and I'm just a body that's too tired to cry. In the after, don't move, the air is finally still. It's over against my will. Just the silence, just the lock, the stillness after the door closed. Closed.